AFC North. It's the Browns and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in on a good run. Winners of 5 of their last 7.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led by a longtime starter in this league in his 11th season now, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. We get a look at what Ertz did receiving-wise last week. 3 catches, 59 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive.
As a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice pass start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're going to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
First carry for Nick Chubb. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 18 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
A nice throw there by Mayfield, a guy who really reemerged as the season and later the playoffs went on last year. What are defenses trying to do against him?
But the first thing defense, because he's such a...
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because
pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And along with the rest of his offensive mates, here comes Zach Ertz, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. On third down, Bernard. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Dalton gives to Bernard. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So this rivalry, Charles, here in the Buckeye State, Cincinnati and Cleveland, you know, you felt like for a while it took a dip as these two franchises struggled, but now I think this rivalry is budding again as one of the best under-the-radar rivalries in the NFL.
I agree with you absolutely, because both of these teams have the arrow pointing up. They've kind of solved their quarterback issues. They're building up their rosters. But one of the most defining moments of this rivalry to me wasn't even in a Browns-Bengals game. It was a Seahawks-Bengals game. But head coach Sam Leach addressed the crowd and emphasized that Cincinnati was the place to be.
Well, Charles, I think his exact words were, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. From midfield here, Dalton. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations, quite the accomplishment. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. He'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. As it's through the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
A run for Nick Chubb. Chubb will have the first down and much more. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Again, he finds an opening. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
Nick Chubb, about as dynamic a runner as the NFL has to offer. He put his talents on full display there. That was some kind of run.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And now it's second down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Here's Bernard. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And we're in the middle part of the season where each week starts to become a little more important, and especially this, Charles, being a division matchup.
Yeah, you haven't fired the starter's pistol or rang the bell lap like they do in track and field for the sprint to the finish. But you're starting to eye it, aren't you? You got to pile up those wins, put them in the left-hand column, not the L's in the right-hand column.
85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Buying time to his left. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Fights him off. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
From the red zone now, Mayfield flushed out right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On the return, Phillips. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Bengals offense returns to the field, and that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Now a carry for Bernard. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 85 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. For him to rip off a run like that on 3rd and 10, CD, I guess the defense, they were thinking pass. Yeah, they definitely were. And when you look at the offensive coordinator, you think, is that courage in play calling? Or is that just absolutely, I have nothing else on my play sheet, let's give this a try. In any event, it worked quite well. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. So Dalton now. Touchdown Bengals. Giovanni Bernard with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield. That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there. And he got into the end zone. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing. And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far. I'm guessing he's... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it. Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses. Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. On the return, Phillips. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Under heavy pressure and down goes Dalton on the sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
You get hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Henry's got it out on the left side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Throwing. Mayfield. On the slant, this is Chark. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And his kick here is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Dalton.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got him pulled down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That one good for 24 yards. Dalton, 1st and 10. This is caught. It's Boyd. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Paris Campbell now on the return.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Browns drive about to get started. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has. It's trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack.
Micah Parsons
in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Throwing on 2nd and long. Dalton. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Passing, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The open man is Chark. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
23 yards on the play. And he's brought down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And Chark calls it in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the 3rd team now, they work on 1st and 10.
Handoff comes to Chubb. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6.
144 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They'll give it to Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have retaken the lead.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. On the return, Phillips. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, it's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Dalton. Complete to Boyd.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Now Dalton.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lee. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th. So minutes after giving up the lead in the 4th quarter, they say, not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you ever seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Now Mayfield and the Browns. Down 35-31, a minute 13 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now Mayfield.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Mayfield.
And that will be incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive. The bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And caught by Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Mayfield.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think you'd have to label this an upset. Yes, they were at home, but still an upset. They got the job done.
Yeah, even being at home was not enough for people to think they were going to pull this one off. But give them credit for playing not just a smart football game, but one where they were going to be physical about the whole thing. They put up their fists and said, let's fight, and showed their crowd that they were into this one.
And then that's the thing, the crowd responded. They were really good in this game.
Yeah, they were not going to be pushed around. They were not going to be intimidated. They refused to back down and came away with a victory.
So for the Bengals, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.